So my name is Pavel Budaj, and I'll be the host of the last part of today that is happening here in the hall, the big hall, since the program will continue outside as well. You are all invited to go there and go really wild and crazy. But before we do that, before we start drinking like crazies, since this was a really hard day, not for me, but for the team who will be presenting titles here, since we have to decide who will claim the prize of the best game developed during the Game Jam. For those of you who don't understand what Game Jam is an event that is limited by time, and during that time you have to develop a game, prototype, or actually a proof of your concept based on a theme or based on an idea that is given shortly before the event starts. So the theme for this year's Game Jam, since Game Jam is happening, this is the 6th edition, if I'm not mistaken, the main theme was nonsense. And the teams had 2 days, not full 48 hours, but they had 2 days to develop a game based around this idea. There were 4 teams competing. First team, his name was Can't You See? Second, Ironic. Third team, Anguis Gallinarium. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. And the fourth team, More Than Meets the Eye. So what we will see 4 presentations. Then I will introduce the jury, and I will introduce the prize as well. Of course, the prize, the fame and the fortune, and the experience as well. Since the idea of Game Jam is to create a collaborative space to actually work with the people that you never worked before. Since I haven't seen the projects, I never met the team members, so I will invite the first team to the stage. It's going to be Can't You See? And you will have time to present your game. So please, stage is yours. Woo!
Hello. We're lunch after coffee, obed po káve, but we're presenting you Can't You See, which is our game.
So maybe you have a question wondering why there are 2 presentators here. What was the answer?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, one is that my English is maybe a bit more clumsy, so...
Yeah, and apparently mine's good, so we're going to go with that. Hopefully people understand me, though.
And the second reason is maybe more important. This is how the future of game development should look like. Okay. Like a team, half female, half male. Because currently the ratio is much, much smaller.
So basically, Can't You See was made during this little tiny game jam, and it's a 30-hour game jam. The primary market for our game is blind gamers or people with visual impairments, but it's also for anyone else who wants to try to see how it is to move around in a stressful situation blind.
Okay, so and when there is a game for blind people, obviously the first questions we have, how can they know where should they go and where are the objects they should interact with? And obvious solution for this is to use a sound. But then there is a problem. If you have some object which lays there, for example, this table over there, maybe it makes some sound when you interact with it, but when it's idle, there is no sound, so you don't know there is this object. So, with the help of the sound engineers from
Grand Beats.
So, advertisement.
And Strum.
Thank you very much. So they helped us to develop the idea of using so-called, what was it? It was like a special name. What was it? It was this beam, marker beam.
Marker beam, yes, exactly that.
Okay. So the marker beam. Marker beam is a terminology from airports. It's a beam which is used for airplanes to be for helping them to land if there
Yes.
is no other technologies available. So we were trying to make a similar technology for the player to know where the object is, or where the place he's supposed to go to is.
Yes, and that works on a basis of a sound being recorded to. The closer you are to the sound, the louder it seems. The further away you are from the sound, the much that like quieter it is. However, it differs from the all-around ambience and other sounds within the game from the fact that it's quite abstract. It's like a very faint beeping sound that gets much louder as you go closer to it. And
then there should be some story behind it.
yeah, no.
So basically the situation now is that I supposed to say what she said, and now I have to think what she was saying when we were training this, and what should I say now? Not so nice situation. Anyway, so the story in this game is very simple. The player plays a character which has a car accident. There are two people in the car, and one just fall through the front window. That's the main character. He has a brain injury and he lost his sight. He got a briefing from the other guy who is stuck in the car. He cannot move. So he described the situation. Okay, there was a car accident and I cannot move and you have to search for help. And this, while there's this briefing, he somehow cannot understand that his colleague is blind and he's commenting like, can't you see? Just go there quickly. Are you blind? But you're actually blind, so it's difficult.
It's very difficult to see, and you just get instructions on what to do and how to move and where to go by your friend and who's stuck in a car. And one of your first instructions is to go to the back of the car, try to access it. If you can't, go search for a branch, and then try to open the door and get a first aid kit, which is where our game has ended during this game jam.
What else?
What else?
What else? As people do, we kind of overscoped, as you do in Game Jam normally. And we've mentioned cabin and bridges, and we might plan to taking this further and maybe developing it and refining the sound, especially as the biggest part of it. The software we used. Yeah.
You can see it. We somehow skipped the introduction of the team members, so maybe we can go help. So it would be nice to go back.
I don't. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
We were 5-member team.
So we have Michal, who is not currently here. He helped us with building the world. Then we have Tomáš and Barbara,
which is two of us.
No, the process is the Tomáš. He's sitting there. I will do the last one. So they help also with 3D modeling and 2D graphics. Then programmer Peter. He was the last one who was fighting. And yeah, the last one is me. I was making storytelling and so on.
That's pretty much it. Thank you for your attention.
And we still have 1 minute, so if there are any questions, we are maybe able to answer
any of them. Yeah. Yes, please.
There is.
Will you be finishing the game and working on it a bit more? Maybe publishing it, making it available?
My goal for at least the game jam now, or like game days in general, is to make it playable fully, truly. That it's like a little experience that we can go through. If other people want to, I would be very happy to. Personally.
Same for me. No more questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your attention.
I would like to invite to the stage second team, More Than Meets the Eye. They're not here. Okay.
Okay. So first things first, I came into this game jam alone, without a team. So why can't they see what I have on the screen?
It's a secret.
What? What? This is not starting the way I hoped it would. Okay. Cool. Technology for everybody. So I became part of the team made of Peter, Samo, Lukáš, and Tomáš. Two programmers, one art designer and a game designer. So they told me I have to do this presentation because they took me under their wings and let me try to do a game with them. So why this? Yes. So the game is called More Than Meets the Eye because sometimes things seem one way but are really different. And we try to work with the theme of surrealism and communicate the issues when you don't have like basic how do you say? Ako poviete, No, však a po slovensky sa to ako povie. When you can't see and when you can't hear, yeah. When you don't have sight, you can't hear and you can't feel things. And we wanted to communicate it through a 2D platformer, like really basic game. And we took inspiration from old Italian and Spanish paintings for the graphics. And this is our main protagonist. He has no senses, only a bit of touch. And if he wants to live in a really complicated world, he needs also the other senses, like vision, hearing, smelling, to get through the level. Maybe I can explain it on a screenshot of the game. This is a level based on the seeing sense. You have to you don't see much of the level until you try to pick up the eyes and move them around, so you can see around the level where are the platforms and obstacles and stuff. And you can use these we call it eye sockets for the eyes, so the glow or maybe the vision of the eye gets more stronger. Okay. And this is the only version we could try to make because we didn't have much time. But also we thought about other mechanics with also with nose, with the ear. So when you want to solve a puzzle in the level, you have to use the eye or the ear. You can see a spot on the map where there is something vibrating, and if you bring the ear to the vibrating place, you can hear a sound that will help you solve the puzzle. In similar way, this is solved with the eyes because you can't see the platforms and you have to move them. And this is like the basic mechanic. You can move with the main character on the map freely, but when you pick up an object, you have to throw it before you can move. And you can choose the angle, and I think that's reasonable, whatever. Okay. These are some more screenshots. Yeah. And we try to build the levels, and then the visuals were made for every level separately. So it's like every level is a painting of some sorts. It is original and maybe with different puzzles and different endings. So there are really many possibilities, and even when we work with the surrealism team, we can probably do anything, and it will be still in line with the idea of the game. Okay, and we found out that even if there are some bugs in the game, because of the team, it still can work if it doesn't break the game. So if you pick up the eye, you shouldn't be able to move, but when you move, it's a bug, but it's still, the game is still playable and it's still fun. It doesn't matter, I think. Okay, these are the credits, yeah. And also the music and sound by Grand Beats and Strun made the game really like a great experience, because there wasn't that much time to fix some issues with the gameplay, but the sound was really, really great. Thanks. Any questions?
The platforms, they represent some object. What is that?
Yeah, when we were making the art for the game, also I can show it to you on this is a good example. Even the typography isn't really conformist or normal. So the idea of surrealism, we try to show it in the typography and also in the level design and the platforms. So it's really like it's trying to be like random shapes and stuff. So it's not really really on the first sight you can't tell what it is, what it's made of. Yeah, yeah. Also, the sounds were based on that same idea. That, for example, the sound of the legs was like I don't know, like a scream or something. It was really creepy.
All right, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
I would like to invite to the stage the third team that developed a project called Ironic.
Are you ready?
Yay!
I am, nice. Okay, hello, my name is George, and I'm member of our nameless corporation. And I'm going to show you and take you to a small sneak peek through our small adventure, which is happening in a dream. It doesn't matter if...
Talk to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I will take it in my hand. It doesn't matter if the character is you or it's someone in a dream. It only depends on your imagination. So we have our small video. How you can see, everything is in surrealism. There is no reality on the rules. The rule is, it doesn't have a sense. Okay. Good, let's go on game details. So the main character is an eyeball. How I said, it doesn't matter if it's your eyeball or it's someone else. It only depends on your imagination. We choose the 2.5D platformer. It was a little bit hard, but I think we did it. As a graphic style, we choose the low poly graphics, and the surreal art style was as a team. So that was the way how to do the game. And also controls, we wanted to choose the gamepad, but we have small problems. So for now we choose the keyboard. but I hope in the future we will choose a controller. Mechanics. Okay, we have a very, very, very basic mechanics, which is only the movement to the left, to the right, and jump. Also, something like a big feature is gravitation, which works sometimes differently, sometimes weirdly, but it still works. And you can change the view of your level and also the graphic style or a setting where you are. And also music, but I hope it will work in future. Also, we had a problem. And your biggest goal is to don't fall and to finish the level. We use the Krita, Photoshop, Autodesk, Maya, and Unreal 4, which have a small problem with the platformer, but we fight very hardly, and we I think fix it a little bit. Okay, this is our credits. I want to say big thank you to our the main 2D artist who works at 2 a.m. on my menu, our 3D graphic, which is still alive, our programmer, which works also when he's sleeping, so he's a hard worker, and he very liked the keyboard. It's soft place. And I'm the last, not the business operator, something like that, but I doing the game design. And also I want to say very, very big thank you to Grand Beat Studio and Strun. He makes a lot of music for our game, and the effects, which are very great and awesome. Thank you for your attention.
Anyone has a question from the audience?
Someone, you can ask me if you want.
Do you want to continue work on that project?
Yes, we I think have a plan for completing it or complete it in the future. Now is to finish the school exams and everything, and after we wanted to again take it, little bit of rework, and maybe finish it.
Perfect.
But we have a plans to work on it in the future.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And finally, I would like to invite to the stage the team that worked on the project called Anguis Gallinarium.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Dalibor, and I'm here on behalf team We Met Gardeners. Our team is almost completely random. We haven't worked on anything. Most of us didn't work together on anything before. And we have created a game for virtual reality. We had added several horror and surreal stuff to our game. There are creepy things, distortions of sight that are caused by potions. The player is playing as an alchemist who has an Alzheimer's disease, and he forgot all his spells. So he has to learn them again, and he has to try every combination of potions that he has on his table. The potions are causing a lot of fumes to escape, so he sees some trippy stuff. You will see that in the video. Oh yeah. Oh, here's some backstory. I'm sorry, I'm pretty tired. Do we have something else? Oh yeah. We have a very nice models of some monsters, let's say, and a lot of effects that are shown to the player that appear on the walls and stuff like that. Many thanks to Grand Beats and Strewn, of course. They made a very good music. As always, we like to work with them. And we used the music also in the trailer. There was just 4 of us. That was me, all right, so these are the guys who worked on the game. Some of them did 3D, some of them did 2D, some of them coded. We didn't sleep much and we made this game. So I will play a video now. We had several concepts in our minds, like 20 of them. We had decided to create an experience due to the limited time, but there are plenty of opportunities to expand the game and the gameplay, since the physics and the handling of the flasks reacts really well, and we have talked about maybe expanding it after this. However, due to our random nature, it might be a little bit hard for us. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you all teams for lovely presentation, and I think they deserve, like all of them, just one more round of applause because they delivered. Delivering a game in 2 days is absolutely astonishing, so I'm really hoping that I will play some of them, actually all of them, not the VR one because I have anxiety issues, so I'm sorry for that. But before we know like who actually claims 2 prizes, we have special mention, and then the second prize is the grand prize, and I think you can see it on the table over there. It's a really lovely prize, and my attractive assistant Maros will be handing out the prizes. But before we do, we need to know, and we need to actually address one thing, one big elephant in the room, and that is like who was those guys who were actually picking up the best prize. So I have to introduce the jury, of course. We have international jury, and I would like to start with introducing them one by one. So please welcome Johanna Pirker from TU Graz. She's sitting down there, yeah. Marian Ferko, the chairman of SGDA, Slovak Game Developers Association. Philip Fischer, the co-founder and CEO of Charge Monkey based in Prague. Representing city of Košice, Peter Nať, CEO of Games Farm. They told me a few minutes ago that I have to say to all the teams that worked really hard that the process of choosing the best one was really, really hard, and they encourage every single one of you to continue on the projects because they see a lot of potential in every single one. So I would actually take it to the bank and start working on those projects as well and develop them into something like a working prototype. So yeah, and I think it's the time to announce the prize, right? So special mention goes to drum roll, yeah, okay. Anguis Gallinarium. And the main prize goes to, drum roll, More Than Meets the Eye. No poďte, neondejte sa. Woo!
Okay, so it was surprising, at least for me, that we won, but we're really grateful. I mean, we liked our idea, right, guys? But yeah, but we know about all the issues that the game had, but actually, Petro here already started working on them. So for the question of if we're gonna continue with it, it's like probably we will. Or we already
the controls are polished now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. You can go. And I guess that's it for this year's Game Jam. You're very welcome to apply next year. As you could see, there were some really nice, very original projects. For some reason, half of the people attending were graphics and artists this year, which is very awesome, I think. And yeah, one last place where I would like to invite you or give you some program tips for the end of this day would be definitely come for free drinks to the industry showcase. I know that it's called industry drinks, but it's basically for everyone. There will be some unpublished, still in the making Slovak games. Then you can check out. One of the main goals of the showcase is also to gather some very useful input for the developers that will be showcasing their games. So you're very welcome to give them your input. Maybe they will include you in the credits. And then we will also have a concert with Strun, who was also part of the Game Jam. There will be a video game quiz for some very cool prizes from Microsoft, and we will be finishing today with a party and with a very special DJ called Future Sounds of Petržalka. So it will be like hardcore partying till the morning. Yeah.